Hey everybody, this is Daniel Moore with Forclosure.com, and today we're going to be talking about pre-foreclosures in the Academy. For those of you that have never met before, my name is Daniel Moore. I'm the co-founder of Forclosure.com, the people that are providing the Academy to you. I've been investing in real estate for close to a decade. And the very first property I bought was an REO. If you do not know what REO stands for, then you are in the right class. You're going to learn more about that as we move forward. I bought it, fixed it, flipped it, sold it. Made a pretty good chunk of change. Rolled that money back into another property, and guess what it was? Pre-foreclosure. Bought it, fixed it, sold it, bought another one, and another one, and another one. And if you can guess right, guess what they were? All pre-foreclosures. I like investing in pre-foreclosures. I've been doing it for close to a decade, but as I started creating more and more income off of pre-foreclosures, I invested that money back into more education and training. By the time I was 2013, I was inducted in the Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad Education Hall of Fame for my success in real estate investing, most of which has been in the pre-foreclosure arena, and that is what I'm going to share with you today in this class. Don't by any means disregard what I am saying. This is some of the best information that I can possibly give you on this as a subject. Foreclosures is massive. There's a lot of things to learn about it. But by the time you are done with this class, I promise you will have a strong enough understanding about the pre-foreclosure process to get out there and start taking some action, okay? So when we're talking about foreclosures, there's essentially 4 different things that we can kind of target. The first one that we're gonna be talking about is late payments. These are people that are 30, 60, 90 days late, 180 days late, however long late they are, but the bank has not started a foreclosure on them yet. Those are people we're going to call late payments. Once somebody's been late on payments for long enough, the bank is going to initiate a process to start the foreclosure on that. And we're going to call that the notice of default. That is the bank notifying the homeowner that, hey, you're behind on payments and we intend to foreclose on this property. So that's number 2. That's process number 2. We've got people that are behind on payments and then people that are in the notice of default section. We've also got a third process, which is the actual auction. These are people that have been behind on payments, have gone through their notice of default, and they are now at the auction with a auctioneer rattling off, hey, we got a bid for this, we got a bid for that, we got a bid for that. That is the actual auction. That is the final step in the foreclosure process before the bank or a new person has bought it. But if it goes to auction, and let's say nobody buys it at the auction, what happens then? What happens is the bank now becomes the owner of the property, and it becomes what is known as an REO. An REO stands for real estate owned, and that is just a big fancy term for the bank owns it. Why they call it an REO, I don't have a clue, but they call it an REO being real estate owned, meaning the bank owns it. Those are the 4 different kind of steps in the cycle for a foreclosure. People get behind on payments, notice of default, goes to auction, and if nobody buys it at the auction, it then becomes an REO. In this specific class today, we will not be talking about auctions at all. We will talk to you about everything up to the auction. If you want to learn about auctions, you're going to need to go to our auctions class in the Academy. Just hop on out of this one and head on over to the auctions. But we're also not going to talk about REOs. REOs is a totally different subject, and that's what happens to the property after it goes to auction and the bank takes it back. Once again, want to learn about REOs? Go back to the Academy and check out our REO class. We will be talking today about people that are behind on payments, and we're also going to be talking about people in the notice of default. That's why we call this the pre-foreclosure class. Those are the 2 steps in the process before the property goes to auction. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. So digging into the pre-foreclosures, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what we're going to learn about them. In this class, you will learn what the foreclosure cycle is. From beginning to end, what's the process that occurs on a foreclosure. We'll also figure out how to connect with a seller. Once we figure out what the foreclosure cycle is, we need to reach out to these people and discuss with them the opportunities to stop their foreclosure and help them through a difficult situation. Part of helping them through this difficult situation is the negotiation and explanation of the process. We will go through all of that with you. We'll help qualify a lead. You know, is this lead coming in? Is it a subject to lead? Is it an owner finance lead? Is it a short sale? Is it a buy, fix, and sell? Is it a buy, fix, and rent? What type of lead do I have and how should I approach it? What options do I have with that lead? If you didn't understand some of those things we were talking about, like the subject to, owner financing, short sales, check out all those classes out at the Academy. We've got those classes. We're going to talk specifically about pre-foreclosures in this. So if you don't understand wholesaling or anything else like that, check them out at the Academy. But we're going to go through negotiating and qualifying a lead. Beyond that, what paperwork is needed at the appointment? foreclosures, as well as several other strategies, have some specific paperwork that you're going to need to get in place to make this strategy work for you. We'll give you a list of the paperwork you need, why you need it, when you need it. All of that will be in this class for you today. We're also going to learn how to get a foreclosure stop, because that is an extremely big piece to this puzzle. You will have people show up like the day before their auction, calling, saying, hey, I need to sell my house. And we're like, great, let's do that. Oh yeah, it goes to auction tomorrow morning. Then all of a sudden, whoa, there's a lot of additional steps that have to get into place to get a foreclosure stopped that fast. But we're gonna discuss that with you, so that way whenever something like that happens, you know what to do. That is what we're here for, to teach you what to do whenever something like this happens. So the last and final piece to the puzzle is gonna be getting the deal closed and funded. It's one of the most important steps to the entire process. And there's gonna be little nuances that you're gonna hit along the ways, and those are gonna be things that we're gonna discuss in this class. So now that I've kind of gone through with you what we're gonna be teaching you, I need to ask you this, and that is, why should I do this? But before I talk about why should I do this, let me explain some reasons why you should not do this. With the knowledge that I'm about to give you, I'm going to be giving you the ability to do both great things and horrible things. The pre-foreclosure industry has many people that are in probably one of the worst parts of their life, going through some really bad times. And the knowledge I'm going to give you is power. And with power, you can do both good and bad. I need to specifically sit back and tell you that once I've shown you how to do this, that it is going to be your goal to go out there to help people. If your goal is to go out there and make as absolute much money as you can, no matter who you hurt, then shut your computer down right now, because I am not doing this to teach you how to do that. I am doing this so you can help people. Part of helping people is you can and will make money if you do this, but absolutely under no circumstances should you go out there to take advantage of people. That is unethical, unmoral, and personally, I don't care what you say or what you do, I would not, under any circumstances, condone you doing something like that. I don't want to sit here and just continue rattling on about that, but I want to make it very clear. Do not go out there to take advantage of people. Do not go out there to put them in bad situations, and do not go out there with the sole intent of doing everything you possibly can to make money regardless of who you hurt, because you will have those opportunities presented to you, and I absolutely do not condone you doing that. So, all of that being said, why should you do this? Why is this going to be a good thing to have in your real estate investing tool belt? What is it about pre-foreclosures that is so nice? All I can say right now is if you go to RealtyTrack says there are over 25,000 houses going to foreclosure every single month. That is like low-hanging fruit. Every single property that goes into foreclosure is more than likely going to be sold. It's either going to be sold before it goes to the auction, or it's going to be sold once it goes to auction. But everything else in between are massive amounts of people that need your help. They need that foreclosure stop. They need to find a place to stay. They need to get some of their equity out of the house. They need to get it sold fast because their property is about to go to an auction. Once a property goes to an auction, nobody knows what's happening to it. But what I can say for you, and say for you right now, that DFW has over 7 million people living in it. I don't know where you're currently at, but in Dallas-Fort Worth, we have over 7 million people living, and we're losing anywhere between 1,000 to 2,000 properties. I know that's a big window, but it kind of varies a little bit. I'd say on average, probably 12 to 1,300 properties a month are being sold in DFW alone at the auction. That is being sold at the auction. If it actually gets to the auction and it's sold, those are properties that are gone. Imagine all the properties that could have been bought beforehand. So even though there's a lot of investors out there and a lot of people are, nervous about all the competition and everything else, those are properties that actually made it to the auction and got sold. There's not enough investors out there to buy every single property that's going to auction, and it's easy enough to go out there, buy a list or build a list of properties that are going to auction, solicit the sale of that home, and get your piece of the pie. That's all I got to say. I mean, what else can I say about why should you do this? I mean, it just makes sense. So let's go ahead and talk about how will I benefit from this? How will I benefit from the knowledge that I'm about to teach you? What are you going to gain from that? What I can say is that I can make you no promises, but I cannot control what you do once I share this knowledge with you. I could share all of this knowledge with you. I could spend the next 7-8 hours teaching you how to do this, and then you shut down your computer, go to bed, eat some Cheetos, and that's the end of the day. There's nothing I can do about that. How you're going to benefit from this is going to depend upon you and you only. Don't get to the end of this class thinking, oh, you know, there's things missing. There's excuse after excuse after excuse as to why I can't do this. All I can say is if you take action, things will start to happen. I can't control your action, but the benefit that you get from this is going to be directly related to the actions that you take once I show this to you. So to end this, why are people not doing this? Why isn't everybody in the world out there doing this if this is simple and easy and, you know, can make money? Everything I just said, in my opinion, is exactly true. It is simple. It is easy. When I first got started out, I was scared. I didn't know what I was doing, but I got out there and I did it anyways. All of that to be said, people don't do it for one reason, and I say it's fear. People are scared of the unknown. People are scared of what might happen. People are scared of what people might say. People are scared about what's going on. Get over your fear, work towards making things happen, and you will start seeing some benefits from this. If you have any questions, you can feel free to reach out to me. Ask questions in the comments below in the Academy here. You can find me on Facebook, facebook.com/Propelio app. You can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/Propelio. Reach out to me. I'm not hidden in the background. It's not like I'm unreachable. Ask questions here in the community. I'm gonna do my best to regularly check in and see what questions have been asked and get them answered for you. So don't have any excuses. Get out there and make it happen.